Now I'm going to read you a story about a very famous man from the Bible named David and how he defeated a giant named Goliath. This is from the Jesus Storybook Bible, and it's one of my favorite stories. It is from the Bible in 1 Samuel chapter 17. God's people had some scary enemies, but the Philistines were the scariest of them all. And now the Philistines had come to fight them. The Philistines had a secret weapon named Goliath. Goliath was a terrifying soldier, and worst of all, a giant. A giant so strong and so tall and so scary that no one had ever been able to fight him and live to tell the tale. So there they were, the Philistines, standing on top of one hill. God's people standing on top of the other. Every day, Goliath came out and shouted,
"Send your best soldier to fight me. If he wins, then we will be your slaves. But if I win, then you will be our slaves."
No one spoke. No one moved.
"Chickens!"
Goliath bellowed.
"Your God can't save you. I'll rip your heads off and I'll have you on toast."
His beady, greedy eyes glowered at them hungrily from under his horrible helmet, as if any minute he really might just gobble them all up. And he laughed his terrible laugh. It boomed and echoed horribly around the dry valley. Well, Goliath might just as well have been a green, slimy monster with 3 heads because God's people froze with fear. Their eyes glazed over and they turned deathly pale. They knew if someone didn't do something quick, if someone didn't save them, but God would do something. He would send someone to save them. Now, you remember that David was the youngest son of Jesse? Well, his brothers were soldiers in the army. One day, when David brought his brothers their lunches, he saw Goliath. And he saw how scared everyone was. "Don't be afraid," David said. "I'll fight him for you."
"You're only a little shepherd boy,"
the king said.
"and Goliath is a great fighter. How will you fight him?"
"God will help me." So the king gave David his royal armor to wear. But it was too heavy and too big, and David couldn't even walk. "I won't need this," David said. Instead, David picked out 5 smooth stones from the stream. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Took his slingshot and walked towards Goliath. Step, step, step. Goliath walked towards David. Thud, thud, thud. Goliath peered down at the small boy.
"You."
"I'm little, but God is great." Goliath laughed an even terribler laugh than usual. With just one swing of his giant sword, Goliath could finish the boy off. But David kept going. "It isn't how strong you are or how many swords and spears you have that save you. God saves you. This is God's battle, and God always wins his battles." David put a stone in his sling, swung it around, and let it go. The little stone flew whiz, like a bullet through the air and struck Goliath.
Thud.
Right between the eyes. Goliath stopped laughing. He stumbled and staggered and crash fell dead. When the Philistines saw Goliath was dead, they ran away. And when God's people saw them running away, they cheered. Many years later, God would send another young hero to fight for his people and to save them. But this hero would fight the greatest battle that the world has ever known.
Has ever known.
Wow, what an amazing story.